So Arthur the King is the latest heartwarming true story to hit theaters, starring Mark Wahlberg and a really sweet dog. Mark Wahlberg plays an adventure racer named Michael who adopts a stray dog who he names Arthur to join him in an epic endurance race in the Dominican Republic. And as I said, this is based off of a non-fiction book based off this same story by Michael Lindnord. And it's really inspiring. This dog accompanies the team on a grueling 435-mile endurance race. And that race itself is honestly super thrilling. It's not even just necessarily about the dog, because the dog doesn't even join this team until about halfway through the movie. But you come to meet a lot of likable personalities in this race, Mark Wahlberg included, who, yeah, say what you want about Mark Wahlberg, man. Like, I don't care. I'll take Mark Wahlberg in The Happening any day of the week. God, these bees are dying all over the place. These dogs are dying, guys. Come on. Take an interest in science. That got so unnecessarily dark, that reference. I'm so sorry. But it really does feel like Wahlberg has found his niche in these true story retellings. It feels like, especially over the past 20 years or so, he's done a million of these type of movies. And he is once again very good. There's a lot of scenes involving Mark Wahlberg that will tug at your heartstrings. And you get behind why this guy Michael Light likes to race, and you get his motivations behind racing and why he even does it. And you're pulling for him. You're pulling for this entire team, Simu Liu included. Simu Liu joins this team as the social media influencer. And I'll be honest, when we first meet this guy, I honestly thought I was going to hate this character. Because Simu Liu's character essentially has a bunch of like rebrandings and a whole bunch of products. Like the energy drinks, like the powder. He's like the Logan Paul of this movie. I thought this guy was going to be an absolutely atrocious personality. But thank God he's played by Simu Liu, one of the most humble guys in Hollywood right now. And he has a few scenes of his own where you just, like, you're pulling for him to get out of this situation. And you love having him on the team. You love having him as a presence. He does provide a lot of comic relief in this movie as well. And I actually did think him and Wahlberg shared some really great chemistry together. Like, I don't know, if Shang-Chi 2 comes out and they're looking for a villain, I'm not familiar with the comics, but I think Simu Liu's connection to Mark Wahlberg could actually lead to him going into the Marvel Universe. I know that's way off the cuff and a huge prediction and a bold prediction, but don't be surprised if that happens. But as good as all of our human performers are, the show stealer definitely is this dog. And let me just say this much. I give massive props to Arthur the King for actually hiring a real dog, because it lends so much more emotional gravitas to the situation that this dog finds itself in, because yes, this dog goes through hell. And for anybody wondering who doesn't know the story, I'm gonna tell you, Arthur the King ends up alive at the end of this. So no, you are not walking into a Marley and Me type of situation. I can never watch Marley and Me ever again. As good as that movie is, it always just makes me burst into tears. And I tell you what, man, this movie got me at a couple points. Like, I felt the waterworks. But I am so glad that they actually used real animals. Now, yes, there may have been one sequence involving a kayak where CGI might have been involved, but that's a perfectly reasonable situation because they're putting that animal in peril, and the production does run the risk of animal cruelty for that one specific scene. But honestly, I'm so glad that they used a real dog here. And you just felt so much warmth. Anytime you see this dog on screen, you can't help but not only feel sorry for it, but feel inspired by this dog. This dog's connection with Mark Wahlberg truly is the definition of man's best friend. And I think it's a super uplifting story. It's a very sweet story. It's definitely going to tug at your heartstrings. You cannot deny that. And I was honestly kind of scared throughout the first half hour of this movie that it was gonna kind of feel like two different movies. One which involves the race, and the other one where the dog is just kind of following them. Because like I said, the dog doesn't start the race with these guys. They meet the dog at one of their transition points, and Mark Wahlberg feeds him a couple meatballs. And then the dog just follows them after that. And I feel like that's one of the two big things that I have against Arthur the King is the first act definitely feels a lot slower paced compared to everything else. And I understand why. You definitely want to set up these human characters and their motivations and what have you. But it definitely does not feel as emotionally gripping as the second and third acts that succeeded. And I'll tell you this much, I thought the director did a really great job overall in terms of presenting the whole story. But good lord, it just felt to me like there was an over-reliance on the shaky cam method. And I mentioned this already in my Saving Private Ryan review when I did that last year. There's a certain fine line that you have when you use shaky cam. Saving Private Ryan, I feel like, is the perfect example of when shaky cam actually works. Steven Spielberg wanted to make the audience member feel like they were on the battlefield and storming the beach at Normandy, then yes, it is definitely very effective. I'm not saying that Arthur the King doesn't use shaky cam effectively, because when you're in the race with these guys, you actually do get a couple of really nice POV shots when they're cycling through the jungle. But even before that, the first act, it honestly just felt like the shaky cam just felt like it was there. I feel like it wouldn't have changed anything if you just eliminated the shaky cam from those earlier scenes. But aside from that, I felt like Arthur the King was a movie that affected me way more than I thought it would. I mean, seeing as how I have a dog in the house right now, like, yeah, this movie, it got close, man. It got really, really, really close to ruining my day. But thank God Arthur the King turns out to be alive at the end of this. And if you're hesitant to go and see Arthur the King because you think Arthur dies at the end, like, you're missing out. I'm telling you to your face, Arthur is just fine. Even though this movie will make you think that he's not gonna make it, it's all gonna be okay, guys. This is a really solid movie, and I think your day will turn out just fine if you watch Arthur the King. Yes, I do have a few pacing issues, I do have a few technical issues in terms of the cinematography, but I think this is a wonderful story that was told on the big screen, and if Mark Wahlberg wants to continue his passion of telling these true stories, I'm not gonna stop him, man. Who am I to tell him no? I'm gonna give Arthur the King a B+. This is a movie that will tug at your heartstrings, and it will certainly inspire you. Let me know what you thought of Arthur the King if you saw it down in the comments section. Let me know what your favorite dog-related movie is. Let me know what your favorite movie involving a dog is. And if you have furry companions of your own, let me know what breed you got down there. I love discussing all things in movies and entertainment over here on the regular with you guys. If this is your first visit to the channel, welcome. Do consider becoming a subscriber and tap on that thumbs up as well. Because trust me, if you want to keep up to date with all new things in the entertainment world, this is the right place to be. And stay tuned for more videos very soon. I'm looking forward to watching Ghostbusters Frozen Empire on Thursday night. Yeah, business really is picking up with the blockbusters in 2024. The Oscars for last year just wrapped up. Oppenheimer just won Best Picture, deservedly so. So now we're going to start getting the new crop of potential contenders coming in. And I can't wait to talk about every single one of them with you guys. Y'all are the best. Look out for more videos very soon. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.